Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Melbourne Metro Recap Show, brought to you by Greentek. We have Todd Simmons and Dean Kuran on tonight. Good evening, boys.
Hey, boys, how are we?
Matey, very well.
A happy anniversary to you, Dean. Hence the change in the video, the intro video at the start, mate. I see 10 years.
Yeah, made it to 10. Thanks for the video pop. Did not expect that. Very good stuff.
There we go. Well, I thought if I've done it for you, I've got to do it from Toddy. So I grabbed a photo from 10 years back, Toddy. I grabbed that from.
Yeah,
of you and your...
from Fitzroy. We had a dress-up night.
Oh, there we go. See?
Yes.
If I do one thing for one, I've got to do it for the other. So I won't ask how we went on the weekend, Toddy. I'll ask you in a tick. But yeah, interesting round of results for everyone pretty much across the board. So we'll get into those. But first off, I'm just finding something. Righto. So what we'll do, Toddy, I've just got this new graphic up and going. I've just got to find it. No, I've lost it. Good on you, dropkick. Oh, here we go. Host results, Toddy, because we know Dino plays Division 1. So we'll look at the host results from the weekend. Hampton Bayside, 68, defeated Parkdale 104. Got defeated by Parkdale 104.
Yeah, hey, take it easy.
Toddy gets up 39-19. And Croydon 3 defeated Heatherdale at home 89-69. Clarkey loses 21-25. Now, Toddy, I have a match report here.
Yeah.
Toddy picked up on an 8 badge on Saturday. Well done, buddy.
Yay, woo.
Very good. What else does it say? Toddy picked up an 8 badge on Sunday. Won the Caulfield Fours tournament yesterday. And word from a reliable source was, and I quote, "I've never seen Toddy play that good. Even back in the day, he converted every single time we were down. Didn't miss a drive, sitting bowls, trailing jacks. It was a masterclass in bowls." How's that, mate?
Got lucky a couple of times, eh?
That's a decent pump up. So how'd we go in the tournament? I heard it was
I'll pay him later, I think.
I heard it was one of the largest winning margins in a tournament for a very long time.
Oh, not sure. I think we were 41 or 42 shots up after the 4 games. So, yeah, it was good. We had a good fun day, and we were lucky we got to play the first 2 games outside, and then in the afternoon when there was a real heat, we were inside the Park Dome at Caulfield Park, which is quite a nice green there.
Nice. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. Yes, and Parkdale's going very well, mate.
Yeah, we're going good so far.
Yeah.
But so the first 2 weeks, we've had 8 wins on the 8 Saturday games. So, yeah, we're rolling along nicely at the moment.
You be going broke? Have you implemented my whole thing of coaches shout?
Yeah, well, I implemented that at Parkdale, but changed the word coach to president. So it's going fantastic.
So who's paying?
The club
The
pays.
president. Really?
Of course, that's the done thing in bowls clubs, mate.
Open bar for an
Not the
hour
coach.
or just one drink each?
You were the sucker that said that the coach pays when you were coaching.
Well, the club was never going to pay. I'll give you the hint.
No, just get one free drink each, whatever.
One
you
free,
do.
yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's good. There's a good vibe around the club at the moment, and yeah, so also midweek they won 3 last week, 3 from 3, so it's good. Everyone's enjoying it.
Dino,
That's
look
what it's about.
Look what Toddy's doing over at Parkdale. Just winning
got
everything.
The shoulders back.
Oh,
Got that pep in his step.
yeah.
Look out.
Haven't seen him this happy for a long time. Can someone look back
good.
over the videos from last year and see if Toddy's been happier? I don't think I
See if
have.
I ever smiled.
No. How'd you go on the weekend, Toddy? Oh, actually,
Well, I wasn't
Brilliant.
smiling much last year, I can tell you that.
well, hang on. I've just got to give myself this. All right. We did come back. If you have a look.
Play, Clarkey, how did you play?
I played well considering it's A, Division 4, and B, I got slipped into skip this week. One of the boys had an illness, so I got slipped into skip at the last minute. And shit, it's hard to draw a shot when these bowls absolutely friggin' everywhere.
But just think, Clarkey, the last couple of weeks, those ones that have been everywhere have been yours.
No, not the last couple of weeks. The weeks before that, pre-season, mate. Round 1 and 2, on it, all over it. Hopefully the selectors at Croydon are watching.
Did you implement anything that you learnt from your videos over the last few months this week?
I'm an enthusiastic skip, Dean. Let's put it that way. I don't bag out my players.
Good.
The good
That's
thing
all you
was,
need to be.
good thing was, we were down 17. I trailed Jack to go from 4 down to 3 up, which made it 7-8, and we did not win an end for about the next 6. So we were down 6-21 at the break, 7-21 at the break, and got back and made it.
You lost by 4, wasn't it? 25-21, wasn't it?
21-25 down. So
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it was good. Good comeback.
Yeah.
I was happy.
Yeah, it's good.
I was happy. Now, I don't know why the chat's coming up twice, folks, but I'll work it out. It wasn't doing that last week, but I've got 5 different screens open in front of me. Hopefully that works. It's only coming up once on the chat. It's actually showing twice up here. So there we go. Righto, big controversy corner this weekend. Hang on, let's go to it.
Hey,
Oop.
what that bloke said? Yeah, I read about that. How shocking.
Oh, you can't say that.
All right, Toddy. Saw this during the week on Facebook, started it up on the chat, and all went haywire. Righto, somebody's posted, anonymous member. Don't get me started on these anonymous members. You know what happened? It took me half an hour last year to get over it.
Very brave.
Why is it that the older, lower standard pennant bowlers are the ones who absolutely are obsessed with foot faults? Reckon I get called out every week, and somebody called him out and sort of said, well, if you're playing with older, lower standard pennant bowlers, how good are you? Doesn't seem to be an issue playing at the highest level, which you obviously don't. Just change the rule. Now, I will say he has showed this photo, and these photos are from an angled point of view. So I've actually been called out on Facebook with the same sort of thing, going, "Oh, you're foot folding on your videos." Well, they're actually on an angle, and they show not at that kind of angles. They don't show how effectively you're either right on the mat or off the mat. Interesting comment here from Barry Lester. Hi, everyone. The mats are very slippery from the humidity and the moisture in the air. Easier to bowl off the carpet and save the risk. The risk of what? Anyway. Toddy, I've got a couple of photos, and you know I've got them. Aaron Wilson, disco. Now, I saw him at Dandenong, and as you can see, he was 50 centimetres over the edge of the mat when he let go of the bowl. Here's Corey Wedlock at the same thing, over the mat.
50 or 5 centimetres?
5 centimetres, 50 mil.
Yeah, it's a big
I
difference.
measured it out. No, there's not. 50 mil. And here was another bloke from New South Wales who started, and sorry, the photo's blurry. I didn't clean the lens when I was taking these videos. He started with his foot 3/4 of the way over the mat when he started. Toddy, you start. I'd like to hear your opinion on this.
Yeah, well, and to make it clear, I've been called for foot folding in the past for that very example, like the last one that you showed.
Yep.
And I did that when I was driving because I was playing in a final and the mats were very slippery. They were the old, I'm going to say like maybe a vinyl kind of material. And if I put my foot on the mat, it would fling off like 5 meters because of the force that you generate. Or if I put my foot in front, I was getting in trouble for foot folding. But my thing was, it was for me to generate that amount of force, my back leg has to flick out to the side. Now, I probably foot fault when I drive, not because I'm too far in front like those guys, but my back leg swings out maybe like a 10-pin bowler.
Dino, have a look at the next graphic.
Yeah, there you go. But look how big my step is.
That's the ball's out of his hand.
You're off the mat. You're miles away out of it. You're miles off the mat.
Well, if it was exactly side on, you'd nearly get a little bit of my sole of my shoe just touching the edge of the mat, I reckon. That's all
The ball's left your hand anyway.
Yeah. But as an example, if my foot was a foot to the side or a foot in front of the mat there, what advantage am I getting? How is it making me have any advantage in getting a better result?
You're closer to the bowls than I am.
So what? I'm asking an advantage. So then when you play, because I'm closer by being 50 mil in front, do you go as far forwards on the mat as possible so you're closer, or do you stand in the middle of the mat?
No, I stand right at the edge anyway. That's why everyone sort of says, "Oh, you're foot folding." I'm like, I'm not, because I've got my foot over the top of the mat when I let go.
When I draw, there's probably 10 to 15 centimetres between my toe and the front of the mat.
Oh, you've got heaps of room on your draw. I've seen it because I took video of it.
Yeah. Yeah, but drive, I stand in front because my back foot, otherwise it slips. So I purposely put my foot over the front of the mat. And if someone wants to call people for foot folding for that, well, go for it. There's a whole lot of other things that are, I think, a whole lot more important.
So is what Lester's saying here, because the mats are slippery, and he's saying from the humidity and the moisture, no, knock it off. There's mats out there that are slippery, full stop. So is he correct in saying this to a degree? Because I sort of laughed at this one.
Yes, I would say, yeah, and that is why I put my toes, I'm talking like maybe, my toes are that far over the front of the mat, just so I get a little bit of grip on the green or the front of the mat. And if someone thinks I'm getting advantage, well, I'm happy to take the mat back, but you can't do that. You can't move the mat backwards, say, 10 centimetres to put your foot 10 centimetres over the front. That's against the rules.
This is disco on a draw. I'm not talking drives. Yeah. Drives are fine.
No, I know. But
disco does this every bowl.
Yeah. But again, what's the advantage?
Well, what's the use in having the rule?
To me, there's no disadvantage for him to stand, 20 centimetres further back as well. I don't see any disadvantage for him doing that.
Righto, Dino, chime in.
Toddy, can I ask the rule? And I'm far from an expert on this kind of stuff. The rule at the moment, I think it says that you need to have a part of your foot on or above the mat when you release the bowl. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So you being far more experienced than I, does the rule simply need a tweak?
100%. I think the rule should be more along the lines of you have to start with, like, say maybe your rear foot on the mat, and you're allowed to take one step, off the mat. So then if you start with any part of your foot on the mat and then you step off, you can go anywhere you like. Because really, the only advantage they're getting is a few centimetres closer, which, to me, there's no advantage. But the rule was designed so that people don't take 3 or 4 steps up the green and then deliver the bowl, or 3 steps to the side and then deliver the bowl. That's the way I interpret the rule. That it was done so that no one gets a big advantage by cheating, not by a centimetre here or 2 centimetres or however much it is.
I don't even think it's cheating. I think it's like you are creating, I guess, some sort of advantage for yourself, because it does allow you to execute your delivery in the way that you want to execute it. And whether that is, going a little bit to the side of the rules, whatever. I think if people started to, if they see enough people doing it and then they themselves start to try and do it, it's not going to work for them, because I think the ones that do it, and I guess do it well, are those that are playing at a pretty elite level and kind of know what they're doing. I haven't necessarily seen anyone really do it, Div 1, Div 2, Div 3 and below. It's those ones that, throwing down a lawn bowl for them is like drinking a glass of water. It's just something that you just do. So, because we were talking about it just at training the other night, and some of us tried to sort of give it a go. And for me, it just felt so out of whack, so uncomfortable. And I looked like an idiot trying to do it. But yeah, it's like, and we were sort of talking about if the rule did get tweaked, is it something like the beginning of your delivery must start above or on the mat? So similar to, you do need to have 1 foot on the mat,
Yeah.
at least at the point of you starting your delivery. And then it can be a little bit grey as to when your delivery actually starts. But I think the way that it's written now, it's clearly out of date and probably does need tweaking, because this won't stop. I think what will continue is just those same keyboard warriors. And Disco, I thought, put out a really awesome response to it, was that the more people that carry on about it and deliver, I guess, more personal attacks on those players, and particularly, last week during the BPL, they were the ones that were being caught out. But to name and shame and insult them, particularly given what's gone on in our sport in these last few weeks, I thought it was really brave of him to sort of come forward and speak about that, and just let him know that if you have a problem with something, that's fine, but think about the way that you're approaching it and verbalizing whatever it is that you're upset with.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And to me, it always just falls back to, if they were to be on the edge of the mat, there's no advantage or disadvantage for them. That's just, what they do and how they do it. They don't all do it, and they don't do it every bowl.
No.
But I see that it is, pushing the boundaries of the rule or just breaking the rule as it's written.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We'll get the results. Firstly, I've just got to do this. Are you going to do this? There we go. Righto, this show is proudly brought to you by Greentek. Now, do you have any greens or surrounds maintenance needs around your bowls clubs? With over 17 years experience, Chris Gell from Greentek is the man you need to speak to for your greens bowls needs. Now, listen to this long list of things he can do for you around your club. Firstly, he can do insurance quotes for damaged greens and the likes, green surface repairs, green base repairs, plinth repairs and replacements, ditch wall replacements and repairs, synthetic grass green surround installations. Maintenance packages are available, and he's also bringing in surface cleaning equipment such as those sweepers. Now, due to rising inquiries, Greentek will soon be offering full synthetic green constructions. So look up Greentek, that's GREENTEK on Facebook. Scan the QR code below or get hold of Chris on 0499 982 185 for any of your bowls green needs. And we thank Chris very much for his support. So when the boys slowly get back on, where's Toddy? Toddy's disappeared. Oh, he has disappeared, Dino. It's just you and I for a bit.
That's all right.
There we go. And
let the inmates run the asylum.
Yeah, well, that's a worry in itself. So hopefully Toddy comes back on in tick. I'd say he's just dropped out with his Wi-Fi. Yeah. Let's look at the Premier League results. I'll get those up. Why don't you start playing up on me as well? Why is my computer playing up tonight? There we go. No, we don't have those results.
No, can't see nothing.
This is getting better. I had it all prepared too. There we go.
There we go.
Premier League round 2. First up, we have Melbourne 88 defeating Moonee Valley 74. 3 rinks up there. Now, this was actually played on the Friday night last week in one of those really strange mixed rounds. Now, Altona 86 defeated Bundoora 64. All rinks up there by Alonta. Yes, Matty, good spelling mistake there. Deer Park 73 defeated MCC 66, so only just defeated MCC there. And Essendon 92 defeated Yarraville Footscray 73. 3.5 rinks up there by Essendon. Now, I think I've got Toddy coming back in. Somebody's popped up. No. Les Such, no. Unsha isn't on tonight. He's having a bit of a family break. Now, the Melbourne Moonee Valley game, Toddy was watching that, but as I said, he's disappeared. So we'll just wing it here for a little bit. Altona Bundoora we'll have a look at to start with. Altona 86-64, all rinks up. There weren't any big sort of winners here. Aaron Wilson, the man we were just talking about, got over the line to Matty Curter. Now I'll just plug Toddy. Just plug Toddy back in. Give me a second, folks.
I think it was you.
Righto. Hang on. Toddy's talking in the background, and that's why Dino's laughing, because he's talking to us in the background. Here we go. All right, mate. Should be plugged in right about now. There we go. He's back, everyone.
Back.
There he is.
You're back. All right. So, yeah, there weren't a lot of really big winners there. As I said, our man that we were just talking about, Aaron Wilson, got over the line 22-17 against Matty Curter. Matty Elal got over the line 23-14 to Caleb Shaw. 20-17, Dane McKinnon over Gary Kelly. That's a decent win in itself. And 21-16, Nathan Wilson over Benny Hubber. So not a lot. It was just a combined pretty good effort there by Altona. Toddy, you can continue, mate. You watched the Melbourne Moonee Valley game. And by the way,
I played
Friday. I did find out why it was played on the Friday.
Yeah, because they had Michael Sims was getting married on Saturday, just gone over in Tassie.
Over in Tassie, that's correct.
A
So
lot of the boys were heading over there for that.
that's correct by both teams. So,
Yeah, both teams had players going over, yeah.
yep. So again, well done to Melbourne and Moonee Valley and Bowls Vic for organising it that way. Otherwise, yes, you can imagine what had happened if both teams had outs.
Oh, there would have been,
that many outs.
I don't know, probably 10 from Valley and 5 from Melbourne or something were there.
Yeah.
It was a lot of players, I would imagine.
So again, a lot.
But anyways, the game was quite a close game throughout. I think it blew out at the end. But I would have said for up until about maybe the 70 end mark, there was no more than maybe 5 or 6 in it, and it went from Valley being in front to Melbourne in front to Valley, and then Melbourne sort of got out a little bit around the 70 end mark, and then they strung a few ends together, and it just creeped out to be, well, a little bit more convincing than I think it was. Would have been more realistic. Maybe would have been about 6 or 8, maybe 10 shots at most, but it blew out to 14. Bryce Young 28 over Brad Gibson 21, and then Jake Rinn 21 over Kane Nelson 14. Brad Spur lost to Dylan Fisher 25-15. And then we've got Kev Anderson 24 over Nathan Lynch 14. So, yeah, I think a bit of it had to do with, Brad Spur got off to a good start against Dylan. I think it was about 8 or 9-0. And then Dylan was able to get it back to sort of 9-all. And then they went maybe up to 13-all. And then, Dylan got a few ends. But, Melbourne were just too consistent over the 4 rinks, especially, I say, in like from 3/4 time onwards, and really put the foot down and played some big conversions and got the win.
Yeah, Toddy, question for you. I don't know whether you know or not. Why were all these games played on Sunday? All the others? I've just noticed that too.
I can only assume that's because of the BPL. The BPL finished Friday night, and trust me, the trip back when you're on a 6 a.m. flight from Brisbane that lands in Melbourne at 9 o'clock, and then you've got to get to Pennon, and if you stay around and watch the finals and then have a couple of drinks, it's a late night, and it's hard work that next day. So I think for the players' sake to play it on Sunday, and let's be honest, there's only a few tournaments around, and most of the players don't play in tournaments, especially the fly-ins and stuff. So I think it made it easier for all of them.
No, that's all right. If I noticed last week, I would have encouraged people to go out and watch a couple of games. But I may have even trundled out.
I didn't know until Saturday when I went and looked at the results and went, they're playing on Sunday. So
fair enough. All right, let's look at Deer Park. 73 over MCC 66. That's not a bad result there for MCC, considering they've come up from Prem Reserve, and Deer Park look to be, again, favourites to be sort of top two in Prem Reserve this year. I'll just have a look. So MCC did have 2 rinks get up. They did actually have a big loss, MCC, 29-4. Mark Casey over Scott Mortimer. That's a decent win there.
And I would have said, and the experience in that rink of Scott Mortimer's rink is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, they've got players there that have been playing top level for many, many years. So,
You mean Mark Casey's rink?
No.
Oh, it's Scott
Mortimer's
Mortimer's
rink.
rink.
Yeah. Like Brett Leighton, Cutter, Brad, but probably been
DJ.
playing for 25 plus years.
Yep, righto.
And Dale and Scotty would be 15 to 20 or something, and all very good players and played at top level for a long time. So it does surprise me, that result, but sometimes that happens in bowls. It just doesn't fall your way.
Mason Lewis's rink for MCC versus Raymond Pearce, 26-8. So that's another one.
Yeah.
That was a big win for MCC. So look,
Yeah,
I think all in all, MCC are going to be pretty happy, bar that big one loss there. They've got to be happy with their results and sort of be saying to themselves, because this was at Deer Park too, got to be saying to themselves, well, hey, yeah, we went down, but I think overall we can sort of match it with the best if they're only slightly going down to Deer Park.
Oh, they can. They've got a good list of players, MCC.
Yeah.
They might have just come up, but, they probably shouldn't have gone down. And they're stronger than the team that went down 2 years ago. So, yeah, I've got no doubt they'll win their fair share of games.
And a very youthful
It's
team
crazy.
too.
It's crazy looking at just in that one game, and you could probably say this for most games, but the amount of talent across the 32 players there is just insane. And that was Deer Park without Aaron Sheriff. So you've got the Casey rink and the Bousey rink. At the moment, I just had a brief look before. They're the 2 highest rated rinks through the first couple of rounds in Prem. And Bousey's played a rink that's got Jack McShane and Joey Clark on it. Like, it's quite amazing. It really, really is. And seeing, Raymond Pearce and now Mason Lewis playing, Metro Premier League as well, and a few of the other stalwarts that have been there a long time, it's hard to win these games. There's just so much talent. I think someone, can't remember who was saying, might have been on the live stream yesterday for the Altona Bundy game. They said that if you're 10% off, you cannot win. If you are 5% off, you are really unlikely to win. You need to be on every single game, and that means every player on every rink has just got to be on.
Yeah. And there's a lot of pressure, and if you're someone that feels the pressure and, and it snowballs, if the leader's a bit off and the other lead's on, and then, the second that's going to be playing against you is going to be a good player. And if they're on, it just becomes so hard and you just can't get in there. And, yeah, when you do, you got one in there and they turn it out and they're back to 3 or 4 shots. And, it can be very hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, here's the interesting one.
On the flip side, you've got to do that to the other teams. That's what it's about. You get a chance, you got to take it.
And here's the other one I wanted to get into, because, again, we can talk about these games all night long. Essendon defeated Yarraville 92-73. Yarraville Footscray only half a rink up in this game. Looking across the board, so Essendon had one good rink win, whereas, again, like you said, Dino and Toddy, you said a few times last year, there are a couple of rinks that only sort of got up over the line by 1 and 3. And Yarraville Footscray at the moment just seem to be struggling. And we'll go to the ladder just to have a look. So
it makes such a huge difference, and you look at, 21-16. I haven't looked at the actual rink score, but that could have been 18-16 going into the last end.
Yeah.
And you got 21-20. And it's amazing over a season, if you can somehow snag a few of those close ones, you end up, you're mid to top of the ladder. And if you happen to be on the losing end or get a couple of bad results, you tend to be, down the bottom. And
Yeah.
it's a short season and every rink's so crucial.
Now, I did
Toddy,
actually...
that 21-16 game. Sorry, mate. That 21-16 game. I had a look at that one before. Essendon were actually up 21-9, and over the last 6 ends, they got it back to 16. Sorry, the last 7 ends, they got it back to 16.
Yeah.
So they did not lie down and made them earn it. So to win 21-16 and not get any of the last 6 ends, fair effort.
Now, I have spoken
you look
to...
at the other one with Brad Pavey. They were 21-16 in front and lost the 4.
Yeah.
Every single end matters.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it does. And that's what you were saying last year, Toddy. Like every end matters. Because again, only a 2-3 shot turnaround here and there on an end can either win or lose you the rink. Easy.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those rinks can look back and go, end 3, we were 1 down. I had an easy shot to land the bowl or trail the jack for 2 or 3. There's your 4 or 5 shots straight away, and you get that, you win the game, as it turned out.
Now, I have spoken to somebody. I've spoken to Matty Odebro. I may as well say his name. He's fine. Because he controls a lot of the Bowls Link stuff here. But I have mentioned to him, it would be great for us and anyone involved in bowls if you could actually look at a game log. So I know with basketball they do it. Yeah, so it's basically a timestamp of when scores are going in. And what it also does is give you a total as you're going. So I know with basketball they do it. I know with gridiron they do it. A lot of the sports, especially worldwide, will have a game log where it will tell you at 7 o'clock on a Friday night the score was this. And then rink 1 had got 2 shots. The score's 2-0. Rink 3 had 3 shots. So all of a sudden the score's 2-3. So people like us and anybody else can actually, if interested, go in and have a look and just see what the game's been doing. And again, it's the data. The data is there because it has to be. The data is time-stamped in the back end because I know, being a database developer for 20-odd years, that has to be. There's no choice. So it's more just coming up with the screen that says, righto, actually do this and show the results as they're happening. But
yeah, because you never know. It could be won the difference overall and a team's all square and we're like, they lost the 5. But they lost the 5 because they were trying to win the overall.
Yeah.
And there's no data in the current format to show anything like that.
No. So, all right, we'll get on to the ladder. Let's have a look at the Prem League ladder. I think I know what's happening. Here's my cloud.
Matty, if I may.
Yes, mate.
Once you've done this, can I just make one comment about one of these particular clubs that's got me really interested? But I'll let you go through the ladder first.
So, just on top, Deer Park, 2 wins. Again, it's early. They are basically tied at the top with Altona, both on exactly the same points. Then we've got Essendon, Melbourne, Moonee Valley, Bundoora, all on 1 win. And then we've got MCC with no wins, 2 losses, and Yarraville Footscray down the bottom with no wins. Score difference of -46 and only half a rink win out of the 2 games. Now, Toddy, just before Dino has his say, we'll go to you, Toddy, first. You've spoken to Millsy over at Yarraville.
Yeah, I just sent him a message, said, see what's happening. And he's like, obviously they're a little bit disappointed, but with a couple of new players in and they had one out on the weekend, they're still getting a couple of their rinks lined up. And he said they're 1 point better off than they were against those 2 teams in the first games last year. So, if they're looking at it, that they're doing better than last year so far. And, and that happens. I mean, I know when I was playing at Clayton, I don't think we didn't beat Deer Park in the last 3 or 4 years. And most of the time it was 18-0. But, we still made finals and stuff when that happened. So, sometimes you just don't line up so well against a team and other teams that you tend to do really well against. So
they're not hitting panic buttons or anything over there?
They're not worried. No. And I know Wayne. Wayne's very experienced out there at Yarraville and he'll have them all under control. And it's amazing what can happen in 1 week of sport.
Yeah.
And they've got a double header this weekend. So, yeah.
I think with Millsy and the Dogs as well, like they're the hunted this year. Everyone wants what they took last year. I'm big on Essendon. We had a pracky game against them, and I know they were missing half their mob, and my boys will have a laugh that I'm even raising that we played Essendon after what happened that day. But I look at their side, and these are the things I noticed. Mitchy Sidebottom, who's playing over there, he played lead for the state a couple of weeks ago. Played third last week. Now he's playing lead because they've got that luxury. Ant Flapper, who's a gun, he's got himself in as a third, playing behind Brad Orr. Jump across, you got a rinkless Schreiner. Dan Priddle, who's a gun and been there and done that around the state, he's in there as a 2. And this is no disrespect to the other players that are in the team. Toby Cromie's playing as a 3. And then this last rink, Brad Pavey skipping, Matty Flapper playing third, and Michael Stevenson, who is a jet, playing as a 2. It's just luxury to be able to have some of these guys in these positions. They bat really, 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 really deep. I think they're going to give a lot of sides a lot of trouble this year. They're very well connected, good ring synergy. They're one that I've certainly got my eye on.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Righto. Where do you think,
done.
mate? Top, Dino, top 2, top 4?
I think Deer Park at this stage would have to be in the top 2. I think Essendon are going to give it a real crack. Yeah. If they can get all their ducks in a row when, it's flags aren't won in October and November, but if they can get, things where they want to be come February, they'll go a long way.
Alrighty. Come on, we better move on. It's 7:45 already and we haven't even got to Prem Reserve yet. Righto, Prem Reserve results when they decide to rear their ugly head. I think when I did all the results, that it's uploaded to the cloud, so everything's just taking its sweet A time to come up. So I'll just start flicking a few buttons and get them all ready to go. There we go. And I'll get a few of them kicked off. Righto. Prem Reserve, Port Melbourne 78 defeated Flemken 73. Geez, only one rink up there for Port. So one of the rinks has done well, but I'll get to that in a tink. Lilydale at home to Fitzroy Victoria, 194-76 with 3 rinks up there. Laylaw at home defeated Heathmont 71-67. It was all square on the rinks. And Glenroy 78 at home to Clayton 60. 3.5 rinks up there in that one. So a good mate of ours, Unch, has gone and done some research today. So these are his results. So Port
intelligent.
Port versus Flemken. So Port scored a 6-shot victory with only the Charlie Boswood rink being the only winning rink. Amazingly, the game between Johnny O'Donnell and Jason Laird finished 12-13 with neither rink scoring a multiple for the game. Now, I didn't know. Is Charlie actually young Charlie? What is he, 17? Is he
Something
now?
like that.
Is he now skipping one of the rinks?
They didn't have their fly-ins this week.
Didn't they? So I think Charlie was playing.
Wilson's name down there.
I think Charlie was playing third to his old man last year. There's 3 of them going around. There's Charlie and his brother and his old man. But were they at Sunbury or
Henry
Deer Park?
is leading one of the other rinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Henry, I think, is his little brother.
Yeah, Henry's his little brother, yes. So.
Oh, yeah, Darren's too in the other rink.
Darren's in the other ring.
Yeah, so they're all there. Yeah.
I thought they had them together at some stage last year, or had at least 2 of them together. So, no, that's all right. All good. Righto, Lilydale, Fitzroy, Vic. Get on to that game. So Lilydale just keep charging along. They continued their strong start the season with a commanding 18-shot win, 16-2 victory at home. And a surprise as the man doesn't lose many games on his home ground. Joshy Sanders went down to import Dale McWhinney Shillington. But with new recruits, Chrissy Payne and CJ Snary having easy rink wins again. So Lilydale just seemed to keep motoring along early in the season. So next we had Laylaw beating Heathmont 71-67. Now Laylaw has taken to Prem Reserve like a seasoned campaigner, as they are now 2-0 with a home victory over Heathmont. In a close one all day, Seb Pretty and Matty Lucas were the winners for Laylaw, with McLaughlin and permit recruit Kobe Barton's rink also got up. So, Dino, I know you'll have something to say about Laylaw here. Again, one of those teams, and it'll be the same with Glenroy. I'll quickly do their result. Newly promoted Glenroy has heaped the pressure on the Clayton Cobras with a 17-1 18-shot victory. The relegated Cobras are now 0-2 and on the bottom of the ladder, while the promoted Glenroy sit on top under the sides to be reckoned with. What do you got to say about Laylaw and Glenroy, Dino?
Oh, Glenroy, we obviously had them in the promotion game last year and they got us. And the first thing that I thought, I guess, the day after was they're just ready and primed for it. They've got such a good, well-connected group of players. Joshy Walker-Davis coming in as well. And they got, Boge and Ollie Morrison and a few other fellas from the country. But, they're all so capable and, ready-made for this level, if not beyond. So it doesn't shock me at all that they would have won their first couple of games, regardless of who they've played. Laylaw, they recruited big at the end of last season, and it just seems to have held them in good stead. And they've got really good leaders. Matty Lucas obviously has been around for a long time, and a good mix with some of the young folks. Seb Pretty's an absolute gun. Getting blokes like Dane Gate over there as well, just to probably for his humour and his good looks more than anything, young Dane. But look, it's exciting because you look at the ladder now, and I don't think we actually had this much space between all the sides in Prem Reserve at all
for the whole
season.
Whole season.
It was crazy, and to see 4 teams on 2 wins and 4 teams on 0 wins.
Last year would have been
pretty wild.
On 1 win.
Yeah, and about 6 points between 2nd and 8th. So already there's a little bit of separation, and that's what you want early. You want, especially for these new sides, Glenroy and Layla, just to get wins on the board, show them that you belong and that you're not going to be a walkover in any game.
Yeah. Because I think the worry. I just want to have a quick look at this. So Heathmont aren't going too bad, but again, I don't know if they've recruited a lot. I think we will have Lucas on the show in a couple of weeks.
They got Kobe.
Yeah, right. Yes, they did. They did.
I think he was their only. I think it's the first time they've had a fly-in. Clayton, I guess, would be a bit concerned. They've lost 2 games to the 2 new promoted clubs. We know they've had a few changes in terms of personnel over the off season, so maybe it's just going to take them a little bit of time to gel.
Yeah, and I don't think we can call them teams that have been promoted, which is what they are, but they're not they're coming up, will they stay? That kind of level team, and I think they're 2 of the stronger teams in the competition. But it's certainly not a good start for Clayton, and losing the first 2 is always hard. And I think they've got the double header this weekend, Prem Reserve, with Premier League. So, the show in theory next Monday could be a completely different ladder.
Monday. We fully expect it to. So, we'll just keep an eye out on what happens there. So, righto, we'll move on to Div 1 results for this weekend. Div 1, Section 1. We'll have a look here. So Yarraville Footscray bounced back after a 38-point drubbing in week 1 to Deer Park. So they got up 77-69 in a very close game. Moonee Valley were defeated by Deer Park 72-83. Club Sunbury were defeated by Whittlesea 74-85. And Brunswick gets up over Port Melbourne at home 85-65. So just a quick recap of what's happened. So as I said, Yarraville Footscray bounced back after their 38-point drubbing to Deer Park last week, getting up over Bacchus Marsh by 8. 6-shot win to Winston Brackley, and a Frank Dalton win by 9 was enough to overcome Justin Webster's win for Bacchus. So good rink there. Good rink win by Justin there because he was part of a 23-shot loss last week and they only made the one change to his ring. So it was a good bounce back there. Moonee Valley goes over to Deer Park. Goes down to Deer Park by 11. Looked like a strong game from both sides with only 7 shots being the max win there. Now, would the Valley have had a couple of their seconds over in Tassie as well, Toddy, you think?
I don't. I'm not sure. Don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be just interesting. I don't think Moonee Valley have got a win up until this point, but we'll check that out in the ladder. Whittlesea get over the line against Sunbury by 11 with 3 rinks up. So Sunbury.
Just had a look at that game. There's some good players in that for Division 1.
Oh, for Whittlesea.
Couple of very handy teams.
Yeah,
well,
well,
both teams.
And Sunbury, yeah.
Yeah, well, Whittlesea has come down from Prem Reserve, so everybody's thinking that's their number 1 side. So, again, they're going to be very, very strong. But this one looked to be pretty even across the board, but Sunbury will be ruining the fact that they dropped one at home. So, now talking about at home, what is going on with Sunbury at the moment? What's the latest? Does anyone know? Because I know they had the roof down and the green was being relayed and blah, blah, blah. What's happening?
No idea.
Did not hear a thing.
Okay, they must be playing out in the grass. Because I think something happened with Sunbury's roof. Somebody can clarify that on the chat if they want to. I think something happened with Sunbury's roof and then it came down into the green and stuffed the green and did a number of things. So I think there was a bit of reconstruction.
You're not thinking about Deer Park a couple of years ago?
No, it's only just happened.
Oh, no, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, yeah, because I saw something they were doing the construction only a couple of months ago. So the only thing I can think is they're playing on that very difficult grass out the back or that new bent grass, which was, I played on it 2 or 3 years ago when it was just laid and it had holes in it everywhere. So, yeah, like I said, Sunbury will be ruining that they lost.
You might have gone okay.
I did actually that day. I think I got smacked by Charlie Boswood in the first game and that was it. So our boys, Unch, I know Unch is watching. Our boys, Brunswick, keep rolling along with a home win to Port Melbourne by 20 with all rinks up. So Paul Gonzalez got up by 10 against Craig Morris, which was a handy wing as the other rinks were pretty tight. But we've seen this before by Brunswick. Start off on a flyer. So they've just got to keep it up this year. Don't come out of the gates 4-zip and then lose 5 on the trot, or whatever they did, 6 on the trot. So that's section 1. We'll have a quick look at the ladder when that decides to rear its ugly head. I don't know why my cloud has gone to sleep. Because it was all up and working before. That's all it's doing. It's just downloading stuff from the cloud. I don't know why. I will try and get ahead of this. Let me click on that and then click on that again. Yep, there we go. Div 1, Section 1. So Brunswick, again, out to a flyer, sitting on top with 34 points. Deer Park, just behind them on 32. Whittlesea on 32. Yarraville Footscray 17. Club Sunbury 16. And Bacchus Marsh, Port Melbourne and Moonee Valley, all with 2 losses out of the box. So I know Bacchus Marsh has come up from Div 2. So they were in Div 1 the year before. Got relegated. Now they're back up again. So hopefully they find some form there. So we'll get on to Div 1, Section 2 results. So Diamond Creek gets defeated by Mitcham 76-75. We'll get on to that. Ringwood got defeated by Yarra Glen at home 65-73. Bundoora gave Croydon a bit of a belting 92-66. And Whittlesea lost to Kingsbury at home 69-73. So I'll just bring up my match reports here. Now, Diamond Creek narrowly lost to Mitcham, as I said, by 1 at home. That's 2 weeks in a row they've had the opportunity to draw the game at the last bowl in hand, apparently. Both times Gareth Toovies had the last bowl And now he's come across from Eltham with Clark McAvoy and Vianne Wilmot. So unfortunately, the boys there haven't been able to add one to the count, and they've lost by one in consecutive weeks. So
that's where it'd be really good to see how the scores were leading into the last few ends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A game log would be awesome, but Unch has done the game report on this one, so he had the inside word as to what was going on, thankfully. But it is, like you said, if we had a game log, we'd know all this kind of stuff with every game. But so luckily we've had some inside information there. Yarra Glen escaped with a victory against Ringwood. Ringwood were up by a few, 80% of the match. So Funky O'Halloran proved to be the winning rink in the end. 10 unanswered shots to finish off the rink against his old club there. Yarra Glen was 7 up playing the last end with Yarra Glen having the last bowl. Ronnie Dalton added to the count with his first, so they were holding 7. Then good old Benny Simmons drew the absolute lot and got rid of Ronnie's bowl by the look of it. So they got up by 8 overall, which I'm sure Benny would be happy with. Again, Benny seems to pull big shots out when he needs to, I tell you. We saw it against Mitcham last year when he pulled one out of the bag to win one of the finals, I think. We did have it on the show. So that's that result there. Next one, Bundoora proved to be too good for Croydon. Yes, I know they did. Don't need to bang on about it. No, I'll do the right thing. Croydon had their fly-in player from Darwin, Mitchie Jackson, but Bundoora at home were just going to be too hard to beat. They will be a top 2 side for sure. We always knew Bundoora was going to be a tough ask there, but unfortunately one of our rinks went down 28-3, which didn't help the cause a lot. We did have 2 rink wins, so we're pretty happy with that actually. And we've said, and I'm sure Dino, you're the same, in this really close Division 1, if you can sneak away with 2 rink wins in a loss, especially away from home, you sort of end up, you'd be happy with that.
Take it.
Yeah.
Take it.
And that's what I'm saying.
Sort of plan for it, I guess. Like, what's the minimum expected result? And if it is, if you can't quite see yourself snatching the big board, then two
grab the
wins
2
is huge.
away from home. And Kingsbury travelled to Whittlesea, who unfortunately lost a few from their second side this season. So despite this, they can be competitive, but Kingsbury snuck over the line narrowly. Now, that's actually a good win for Kingsbury because they seem to be one of those sides that is not going to win a lot away from home. But if they do win theirs at home, if they do win a couple away from home, that'll be a big bonus for them. So at the moment, we've got Bundoora, Mitcham on top, and Yarra Glen with the 2 wins, Croydon and Kingsbury with 1 win each, and then Diamond Creek, Ringwood and Whittlesea. Now, it is Whittlesea's second side, by the way, for anybody that's wanting to know. Now we'll get on to these results. Division 1, Section 3, Round 2. Clayton unfortunately got beaten by EEBC 108-58. All rinks up in that win there for EEBC. Bentley lost at home to Auburn 77-69. 2 rinks each there. Middle Park, we'll get Dino to talk about this. 89-61 win there over Moorabbin. And Dandenong Club at home defeated Melbourne 103-60. Dino, go through those results. Tell us what happened there, mate.
Well, Clayton being a newly promoted side, playing EEBC, who played finals last year, and a couple of fly-ins this year with Indy Conlon and Ian Law, and a few other players, who I know are just really pushing to take, that extra step this year. So EUBC got smashed by Dandy in round one. They
Yes.
would have been pretty keen to get back on the winners list, and they did that really well. They won each rink by a fair margin. Bentley against Auburn, again, just one of those, when you look at the scores, 77-69, and you think, you keep an opposition to 77, you're probably giving yourself a good chance, but if you flip it the other way, you keep them to something below 70, you're giving yourself a really, really good chance, and that's probably just the difference in the end. Auburn also a promoted side. Pretty sure they are 1-1 now. Lost at home and won away. So it's tight. It's very, very tight in this section. We played Moorabbin. We sort of had a really good chat about identifying opportunities for us to where we sort of felt we had an advantage. And I guess if you look at a couple of the rink scores, we took that advantage in some of those spaces. Our rink was down 11-0 after 5. And I was thinking this is going to be another one of them days, but we ended up 19-19, losing the last end on a measure by an absolute 15th. There was nothing in it. But a win is a win. Again, just trying to get better every single week. We play Brighton at home, EUBC at home this week. That's going to be a real test for us, and we sort of marked that down early in the season as a point where we can really measure ourselves. So looking forward to that. We've actually got 5 sides playing at home this weekend. Across.
Now I was going to ask you, what's the go with that? Because it looks like you've thanked a couple of teams. So I'm presuming you've done a bit of a switcheroo and worked with Bolvic that make that happen? Yeah,
we did. So we need to shut down the green from Christmas Day till around Australia Day. Being top dressed, it's the best time of year to do it. Just something that had to be done.
Well, you reckon it's only going to take 3 weeks?
No, that'll give us
4 weeks,
4.5, 5. Yeah. We quickly got to work with communicating with the oppositions about the opportunity to switch games around. We let them know what our situation was, and then we had to move about 16 games between weekend and midweek, and all bar one, and not to point anyone out, but all bar one helped us out, which was great. I'm not saying the other one didn't help us out. We just couldn't get it done. We've got 5 teams playing at home. So if you've been to Middle Park, it'll be a completely full 12 rinker out the front, and then a completely full 8 rinker out the back.
So you're doing both greens?
We're doing both greens. No. Sorry, no, renovating just the front. So the flip side of that will be in January. We'll be on the road quite a bit. So
you got a big.
It is what it is.
Tail end away draw across everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So it'll suck for training. It'll suck for a few reasons, but something that's got to be done. Just for the longevity of the green. Yeah, and it's we think it's running pretty well at the moment, but it's been planned for quite a while. So it's a massive day for us. Getting 5 visiting clubs in, welcoming back our old mate Dan Mars, who's over at Alphington. They happen to be playing us this week as well. So looking forward to a massive day. It's going to make for a wonderful, wonderful photo of 80 of us arm in arm on the front green before the game. So really looking forward to it.
Is this something you've advertised to the locals as well? Because I'd say it's pretty rare to have that many sort of bowlers all into one spot.
So we put it out just on the socials to the local suburbs and councils and areas, and it'll be hopefully a bit of a party atmosphere. The weather outlook looks shit house, but
it does, doesn't
it? It never rains on Saturdays in Melbourne, so we'll be right.
You're going to be playing on grass. I think I'm.
True. Nah.
I think I'm on grass Wednesday for midweek, and I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's funnily enough, we're playing EUBC on Wednesday as well. midweek. So we'll get to know them pretty well.
Yeah.
But, the last game of the round, Dandy Club played Melbourne, 3.5 rings to 1 and 103 to 60. We know what the Dandy Club group is all about. They've got some incredible back-end players and just looking through the scorecards and some of the numbers, particularly at the back end of the game. I think there was, we were talking earlier, there was one rink that had a 5 and 2 sevens in the last five ends. And it's like, you just got to go with them to the very end.
Yeah.
That can be the difference between a rink win and a loss. It can be the difference maybe between a game win and a loss. So, one to definitely keep our eyes on.
Rightio. Here's the ladder. As we expected, Dandenong Club and Middle Park on top with 2 wins each. EBC, Auburn, Bentley and Clayton with a win each. And Moorabbin and Melbourne down the bottom with no wins, which is surprising for Moorabbin. But hopefully they get going. See what happens there. Righto. Last division. This is Unch's division, so he has sent me his reports from around the place. Bo Morris got defeated at home by Narre Warren 69-77. And Bo Morris only had a draw, so as you can imagine, all the rinks were pretty tight there. Cranbourne 73 defeated Mulgrave 71, 2 rinks each. Mentone had a massive win. This is huge. 122 defeated Dandenong Club 47. So I know Dandy won't be very happy with that. Pakenham got beaten at home by Cheltenham 77-16. So this is what Unch has sent me because he's rung around the grounds, as you can imagine. So his game, talk about a genuine ring-a-ding-ding game. Good on you, Unch. Was bloody tight all day. They jumped us out a tad early by about 10 or so. Didn't help that I was bloody 7-zip down. Was then pegged back, got our noses in front. But then halfway mark by 10 or so, they made a big push at the end and probably got it back to level overall with 10 to play. Then things went Narry's way in the last 10 ends and managed to get an 8-shot, 17-point victory away from home. I must add what a genuine bunch of champion blokes they are at Bowie. Game was played in the right spirit. Both the sides had a crack, but it was awesome to see everyone after the game cracking a can, having a laugh about the day's events, keeping a lid on it. Big game against Mentone, who had a dominant performance at home this week. So, yes, we'll get on to that one. No, it wasn't Mentone, was it? Who had the big loss? Melbourne. I think Unch has buggered up here.
Mentone had the big win.
No, Mentone. Oh, yeah, Mentone beat Dandy. Sorry, I was thinking about Dandy Club in Division Section 3. So I'll get on to that one. And what looked like a pretty tough one to pick the winner of before the game, yes, I completely thought the same. Mentone flexed their muscles on their home deck with a massive 16-point to 275 shot smashing, led by Brad Foote and Dean Arthur Rinks, which won by 28 and 33 respectively. Mentone were never in any danger from early on in this one. So yes, Unch and Narry, if I was you, I'd be very concerned. Cranbourne versus Mulgrave. Cranny in somewhat of a surprise win over Mulgrave at home. 20 ends. To play, scores were level, but Gavin Wright's rink winning the last 4 ends in a row, and then Chris Hunt's rink picking up 7 shots in 2 ends to not only get their rink up, but more importantly secure a 2 shots, 14-point to 4 victory. And then the Pakenham-Cheltenham game, Chelt got up over Pakenham 77-72. Last year's section winners, Pakenham, have started the season zipping 2 after a close 5-shot loss to a Cheltenham side that have started 2-zip. So Cheltenham jumped Packy in the early stages of the game only for Packy to fight back, get their noses in front by 5 with 20 ends to play. And then led by Stephen Milne rink, which picked up 14 shots over the last 6. and helped get Cheltenham away to a decent-sized win. So there we go. We'll go to the ladder. And yeah, Son should be sprouting about this. Narry Warren on top. Look at him. Big super assistant coach down there at Narry. So they're on top. Cheltenham as well. 2 wins each. Mulgrave, Mentone, Cranbourne, Dandy with a win each. But Mentone's score difference looks very nice after the weekend. Pakenham and Bowie down the bottom, as we can see. And again, Packy's score difference and even Dandenong's score difference doesn't look flash. So, there we go, gents. That's our weekly wrap-up of Div 1. Sorry, everyone. I just tried to cram Div 1 in at the end. I shouldn't really be doing that.
No time for Div 2 again this week.
No.
Sorry, what's
no.
that?
You said no time to do
No
Div 2
this week.
Well, we did. We did it. Did it early.
To a couple of things that happened at Parkdale.
Yep, go for it. Blow your own
So on
tyres.
Saturday, On Saturday, we got quite a few juniors at Parkdale. We got a kid that's 7 that's playing pennant, and we played Bentley, and they had a young kid that was 7 as well. So there was 2 7-year-olds playing pennant against each other, which was fantastic. And then last week, round 1, our second side were playing at home, and I would consider it to be a very strong team for Division 4. They were, I think it was about 34 shots down halfway through the game, and then they finished up winning by about 5 or 6. So it was a very good comeback.
Effort. Good effort.
Yes.
So it's the super coach down there. Listen to it.
Yeah.
Hey?
As long as he's not teaching a 7-year-old.
There we go. Go on.
As long as he's not teaching them 7-year-olds foot fault.
Foot faults, yes.
Well, it's funny because that kid at our club that is 7, every time he goes to bowl, he puts his foot half over the front of the mat. And I'm like, no, stand in the middle of the mat.
Stand in the middle. Yeah, no.
Taught him well.
Nothing worse.
You'll be caught on Facebook. People will be taking photos.
I think I've got him on video anyway, don't I, Toddy? Pretty sure I do.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, Coa
Yes.
is there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, everyone, if you're not bowling, get down to Middle Park. Huge day down there for Middle Park.
Good luck, Dean.
Yes, good luck, Dean. Toddy won't wish you luck because you're just so good, apparently.
Oh yeah, thanks.
No, and just Toddy, mention I did want to mention your rink. The 2, except for the Simmons guns up the back. The 2 young girls you've got bowling for you as well. I've met them, 2 lovely young girls. What are they?
Yeah, I got
14, 13,
Nichols.
15?
No, they're both 18. Ava
okay.
Nichols and Sarah Williams. Yeah, they both just turned 18. So, they're playing leading 2, and it's good. The club wanted me to really help try and develop the juniors that were there, and thought, well, what better way than have 2 of them playing in my rink? And then now I've got Jet, my son, playing third to me, and he's going good. So, yeah, it's great.
So how old's Jet now?
He's 17.
17.
Yes.
Fair enough. And bowling very well, I hear, Todd. So you tell me.
He's doing all right. Yes.
He's
Yes.
just going all right. They're not the words you used when we were talking earlier. Yeah. All right, gents. That's it for the show.
Sorry, mate. I do it. I feel like I do it every week. Can I just throw one more thing?
Yeah,
I'm
go on,
sorry.
mate. You've got 2 minutes to
Sorry,
kill the
mate.
music quick.
I might need to kill the music.
I can't. Hang on, I can. There you go. Killed it.
All right, mate. It's just a bit of a sad one. So we hosted Moorabbin over the weekend, and they actually found out right at the end of their game that they had just lost one of their members in the 24 hours before that. So to the Moorabbin Bowls Club and to Paulie and to his loved ones and friends, just we're thinking of you and just sending you all our love in what must be a very tough time.
Yes.
Well done, mate.
They're
Very good.
big fans of the show, so just thought make sure we let them
I know too. The Furniture Gully sent a shout out. They had someone at their club pass, and again, I think it was Mitcham and one of the other local clubs were nice enough to allow them a 1-minute silence before the start of the game. So, again, thank you very much, gents. Hope you all have a good weekend. Any tournaments? No.
Yeah, Monbulk tomorrow.
You playing at Monbulk tomorrow?
Oh, I sure am. Hopefully Jet carries me.
I might even pop up and have a look since it's up the road. Beauty. All right. See you later, gents.
Hope the weather treats you well, boys.
No, it won't.
Need it.
All right, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Good bowling. May your